This morning, we want to help you save someone you love, maybe a coworker, or maybe even a complete stranger. We want to show you what to do if you find someone unconscious and needs to have CPR performed on them. So last night on the 10 o'clock news, we revealed the results of a 6-week investigation into Jacksonville fire rescue response times. While paramedics are working as quickly as they can to get to emergencies, the reality is if you have a heart attack on the south side, there is a much greater chance they will not be able to get to you in time to save you. We talked with a cardiologist, and there is a specific window of time when CPR must be performed if someone goes into cardiac arrest.
So the response time is 4 to 6 minutes. You want to get there, start CPR within 4 to 6 minutes. If you don't, the chance of survival goes down dramatically.
So if someone has a heart attack in an area of town where there's maybe bad rush hour traffic or the station that services that area is already out on an emergency, we found that more than 50% of the time, paramedics at 3 stations on the south side could not get to you within, as you just heard that doctor mention, that's 6 minutes, which is a critical time period. That's why it is so important that everyone knows CPR. Here now to demonstrate for us is Jessica Winberry with Baptist and Wolfson Children's Hospital. Good morning to you. Thanks for being here. You know, we told our viewers 4 minutes is all it's going to take for you to basically teach them basic CPR. Sure. So let's get straight to it. Let's start for an adult. Okay. You come across somebody, they're unconscious.
Come across somebody. So there's a couple different types of CPR done in the community. So we've got CPR that's done for doctors, nurses, but what we're talking about today is for people like you and I that maybe are at home. This might be our husband, wife, mom, dad, child. Okay, so it's done a little bit differently. If we find someone unresponsive, the first thing we're going to do is kind of tap them on their shoulders, and I'm shouting for their name, see if I can rouse them. Typically, this is going to be done on the floor, but for purposes of demonstration, it's a little bit easier. Sure. Next thing we're going to do is if they have any clothing on, just kind of expose this area so you can look around and you can see, do I see any signs of life, which would be the chest going up and down, any type of movement. We want to do that for 5, but no more than 10 seconds. Okay, so again, really decreasing any delay in doing CPR.
By now, have you told somebody else to call 911 also?
Once we've tapped their shoulders, if we have someone with us and this is an adult, we'll send them to call 911. If we are alone, we would leave and go call 911 if we didn't have access to a phone right there. Okay, so a little different than it will be with the child. Next, once we've had that person call 911, we've scanned the body, 5 to 10 seconds. The first thing we're going to start are our chest compressions. So we're going to be on the lower half of the breastbone. Hand placement is very important. Lower half of the breastbone. We always want to avoid where the ribs meet together, that xiphoid process. So we put one hand right on the lower part of the breastbone, and then our other hand will come straight on top of that. And since you'd be on the ground, it'd be very easy to get good compressions here, but we're going straight down. It's a little bit hard.
How fast do you do that? Do you count one Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, or
not
no?
anymore? Okay. So it used to be that it was at the rate of 100 compressions per minute, but the latest guideline that has just come out has bumped that up. So we're doing between 100 and 120 compressions per minute. So we're doing it very quickly, okay?
Is that kind of like staying alive, staying alive?
If I was saying I would, but I'm not going to do that for you guys. Right. But the keys when you're doing compressions is you're compressing all the way down and allowing that chest to come back up to its natural position each time. So when you think about it, as we do that compression, we're pushing the blood out of the heart up to that brain and providing that oxygenated blood to the brain and to vital organs that we are trying to keep alive.
What about the breathing? Because some people are hesitant, they don't know the person, they might catch something.
If this is somebody you know, what you're going to do is you're going to do the 30 good compressions, and then you'll come down, you'll tilt that head back, pinch the nose off, put our mouth over their mouth, and we will give them 2 breaths, enough to see that chest rise and fall. If you're out in the community and this is a person you don't know and you want to help, but you don't want to put your mouth on them, the recommendation is to do hands-only CPR, which means all we'll be doing is providing the chest compressions.
How long should you do this? I mean, you never want to say give up on anyone, particularly if you're waiting for rescue to get there and they haven't arrived yet.
And that's the goal. Don't ever stop. We don't know enough to know when enough is enough. So as a community person, we're doing CPR until one of 2 things happens. This person becomes completely revived, very obvious signs of life, eyes open, waking up, or more advanced help gets there to help us out. Once you've started CPR, continue doing it until one of those 2 things happens, because you really could be saving their life, or at least buying time until additional medications arrive.
4 to 6 minutes. It's critical, everybody. Start right away. If you're alone, go call 911 and then come back. I know that's different as a child.
Yes.
We didn't have time to get to the child CPR, but I want to give everybody at home the information on how you can learn to do CPR, not just on an adult, but also on a child. So to sign up for CPR classes that Jessica actually teaches, you can call this number. It's 202-4921. That's for adults. For children, you can call this number, 202-BABY. I took this class. Everyone, you know, who loves my children took this class. And also tomorrow on the morning show, this fellow was in the right place at the right time. A local cardiologist, we're going to bring you that story, recently used an AED on someone at the airport and saved their life. He's going to join us in studio with a demonstration on how to use an AED. That's tomorrow at 8.